Hello everybody, how are you? Hello everybody, how are you? It is time to start our day. It is time to work and play. Hello everybody, how are you? Hi everyone and welcome. I am so excited for today. Today is a really special day. Today we are going to say goodbye to winter and hello to spring. I am so excited that this season of spring is finally joining us. Let's start our day with a nonfiction book and learn a little bit about spring. And this book is, of course, called Spring. And right up the front here, you can see, look at the beautiful colors of spring. Yeah, I see purple, yellows, whites. What other colors do you see in there? Lots of bright, beautiful colors. So what is spring? There are 4 seasons every year, and they're called spring, summer, fall, and winter. Right now, we're still in the season of winter, but we're this close to getting out and moving into the season of spring. Spring is one of them, and again, look at all those beautiful colors. I see more purples and yellows and oranges and greens, a whole field of beautiful colors. When does spring come? When is it spring? Well, the 4 seasons follow a pattern every year. As I said, right now we're in the season of winter. From winter, we move to spring. Do you know what comes after spring? From spring, we move into summer. And then summer will go back into fall, and then that pattern starts all over. Let's see, winter, spring, summer, fall. Winter, spring, summer, fall. It happens every year in the same order. Spring, as we said, comes after winter. Now in this picture, I see signs of both seasons. I see the beautiful flowers plus snow. It can be warm in the spring. It can be raining in the spring. We see a lot of rain in the spring, and that is good because that helps the flowers grow. In the spring, we can see people in raincoats. We can see people in boots, in rain boots, having a good time splashing in puddles and carrying an umbrella. Oh, in spring, we see people in gardens. What's this little girl doing? This word here says seed. She is helping somebody plant a seed into the dirt, and I wonder what will grow. Here's something. In spring, we see buds. This is the bud coming off the stick there. It's going to open up into a beautiful flower. In spring, we see blossoms. Now, this is probably one of my favorite parts of spring, is the trees that have blossoms. Eventually, those blossoms will change, and we'll have leaves and different fruits and things on them, and maybe some flowers. But in the spring, we got the really good smelling blossoms. In spring, we see flowers, lots and lots of different types and lots of different colors. In spring, we see new plants starting to grow. In spring, we can see new leaves starting to grow. How about this? In spring, we can see eggs in nests. In spring, we can see chicks in nests. Do you know what those chicks are doing? Do you think they're singing a song? Do you think they're talking to their mommy? They're actually asking for food. That's how baby birdies ask for food. They sit there with their mouths open wide, and mommy will bring some food and put it in their mouths for them. Oh, in spring, we see baby animals. In spring, we see hedgehogs waking up. All the animals that have been hibernating are going to come out of their hibernation now. They're going to wake up. Which season comes after spring? Do you remember what we said was next in the pattern? That would be the season of summer. That will be the next one, but we're going to enjoy spring for a while before summer comes around, won't we? All right, so that is the season of spring. Let's sing a song about spring. You ready? Can you make a sunshine over your head? Put your hands up here. The sun is shining bright. The sun is shining bright. Oh, how I love the warmth. The sun is shining bright. Now let's make raindrops. The rain is falling down. The rain is falling down. Oh, how I love the sound. The rain is falling down. One more, let's be a flower. The flowers start to bloom. The flowers start to bloom. Oh, how I love the sight. The flowers start to bloom. All things spring. Okay, I went on a little walk around my neighborhood looking for signs of spring, and I want to show you guys some of the things that I saw. Let me show you, I took some pictures while I was walking, and this is what I found in my neighborhood that were signs of spring. Later, you can go around your neighborhood and you could look for sights of spring and sounds of spring too. Let me know what you hear that is sounds of spring. One of the first things I noticed was even though we're moving into springtime, there was still some snow. Check that out. You see a little bit of snow and you see a little bit of grass. The snow is starting to melt away, but it's still there. That was the first thing I saw. Then I saw these green buds sticking out of the ground, and I noticed at the top of them, do you see kind of a funny shape at the top of them? They haven't opened up yet, but there's flowers in that kind of shape that's there. There's flowers waiting to come out. A little further down, I found some flowers that had bloomed. I found some beautiful colors. You can see those there. Then another one of my favorites of spring. I love ducks. I saw a couple of ducks swimming. There's a mommy and a daddy duck swimming along, and then I saw a mommy and a daddy duck walking along on the grass. There's not that many ducks yet in my neighborhood. There will be many, many more to come, but the first are here, and that makes me so happy. And then I saw, just like we saw in our book, I saw a bird's nest. Now, the bird's nest I saw was a little too high for me to reach, so I couldn't see inside, but there were a mommy bird and a daddy bird kind of flying around and protecting the nest. So even if there aren't eggs in there yet, I have a feeling there will be eggs in there, and there will be babies coming out of those eggs soon. So I'm going to keep my eyes on that. So like I said, boys and girls, you guys can go around your neighborhoods and look for signs of springs too, but don't just look for things you can see. Listen for sounds of spring, like birds singing. Maybe you'll hear some baby animals. Might be a little early for that yet, but start looking and listening and see what you can find. Also, a sound of spring I hear a lot of times are cars. I have my windows open, so when I'm in my house, I can hear cars going down the street when I normally can't hear that in the winter. That always makes me think of spring and summer when I hear sounds through my windows that are now open. I have another book I want to read to you, and then we're going to do a craft together. This book is a fiction book. This one is telling us a story. The first one gave us information. This one is telling us a story. This book is called When Spring Comes, and we have 3 little friends. 1, 2, 3 little friends. Doesn't it look like they're reading the title of the book? Do you think they're trying to read those words, or do you think they're looking at the pretty flowers that are up there, the pretty blossoms on those? Oh, or maybe they're looking at the bird. That could be. That could be. Here's some sights of spring. What do you see in this picture? Tell me what you see that's a sight of spring. Something that we didn't see before or talk about. I spy a kite. That's a sign of spring, isn't it? There's some birdies up there with their mouths. Birdies up there with their mouths open looking for food. An umbrella we saw before, and raindrops and rain boots and lots of flowers and blossoms. Oh, there's another one that we haven't talked about. Bees. We're going to talk about bees another time. I know bees can make you scared. They can make you a little nervous, but they're really important and they're really good. So we're going to talk about those guys another time. Okay. Before spring comes, the trees look like black sticks against the sky. Mine still do. I don't have anything on my trees yet. But if you wait, we have to be patient. Spring will bring leaves and blossoms. If you wait, spring will make the leftover mounds of snow smaller, smaller, until suddenly they're all gone. Before spring comes, the grass is sometimes brown. Sometimes it's brown, sometimes it's still green. But if you wait, spring will turn it green and add little flowers. If you wait, an egg will become a bird, and a seed will start growing. Spring comes with sun, and it comes with rain, and more rain, and more rain. But if we didn't have all that rain, we wouldn't have puddles to jump in, so I guess that is a good thing, isn't it? Or we wouldn't have mud. Do you like mud? Do you like puddles? I hope you like umbrellas. Before spring comes, the garden is just dirt and it's empty. But if you wait, spring will push green shoots through the dirt to fill up the garden. And spring will call out the pussy willows. That's what these are. Maybe you'll see those when you go looking for signs of spring. Those are really cool. They're soft and they're pretty. And new kittens too. Spring can come quickly or slowly. It changes its mind a lot. But when spring is finally here to stay, you will know it. There will be buds, and bees and boots and bubbles. That's another sign of spring. On a warm day, you can get the bubbles out. Blow those, chase those. There will be worms and wings and wind and wheels. You see the bike riders up there. We've got somebody flying a kite over there. Garden is starting to grow. And if you look closely, you can see some worms. We're going to talk about worms another time too. They're also very important, just like bees. We'll talk about those another day too. You will feel it. You will smell it. You will hear it. Those were 3 things we didn't talk about when you take your spring walk. Try that. How does it feel? How does spring feel to you? How do the smells smell? And we did talk about what will you hear? When spring is finally here to stay, you might think you are done waiting, but you're not. What's left? What else could we be waiting for? Now we have to wait for summer. You know what though? I think I'm excited enough. I will take spring. I don't need to wait for summer right now. I'm just going to enjoy my spring. Now I have this still. I made this in the fall. I took some branches that I had and I took some fall color tissue paper and I put it on the branches so it would look like a fall tree waiting for its leaves to fall off. You know how the leaves turn those colors before they fall off. I want to update this one. I want to make a spring one. So let me pull over my tray here because on my tray I have some glue. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a stick. Let's see, I want this stick. I have a whole vase full of sticks here. I want this stick. He's got a couple of parts to him. Hey, look, he's the letter Y. I'm going to take this stick. I'm going to brush. Oh, you know what? First, I have to have something to put on it. So what I've done, like I showed you, this one had fall colors. It had orange and red, kind of what the leaves turn before they fall down. Well, spring colors, like we've seen in our books, are more pinks and purples. So I have some tissue paper here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with my purple. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut a piece. And I have a couple of choices. I've got this little piece here. First time through, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of glue. That all kind of rhymed, didn't it? I'm going to brush it on my tissue paper. Get it all around. And then I'm just going to wrap it around my stick here, my limb. And the first one I'm just going to put on like this. But blossoms often are kind of crumpled up. Let me set this down for a second. I'm going to take a piece of my pink paper. I'm going to cut out a little piece of pink here. Go down this way, down that way. And now I'm going to take it and I'm going to crumple it up. I'm just going to take it in my hands so it looks more like a blossom. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue, brush a little bit of glue on here. Get enough so it'll stick. A little bit more. And I'm going to put this on so it looks like a blossom waiting to bloom. You know we get apples this way. This is how apples start, as a blossom on a tree. Isn't that kind of cool? And let me do one more. I have a lighter pink mixed in here with my pink. There's a darker pink and a lighter pink. I don't know if you can see the difference, but I'm going to go ahead and cut out a piece of lighter pink. And I'm going to put that on there too. Need a little bit of glue. I kind of liked how my blossom looked, so I think I might do that again. I think it's a little too late to crumple it now, isn't it? I put the glue on there. Let's see. Let me put it over here. And I could continue. I could keep going, and I could fill my whole stick up with different spring colors. Then I can put it back in my vase, and I have a decoration for my house with beautiful spring colors. So I'm going to finish that when our time is done together, and you guys can go do that too. Before we leave, though, the most important thing we're going to do together today, we are going to say goodbye, winter, hello, spring. You ready? You ready to help me? We're going to take this word down. This was the word winter. You ready? Bye, winter. See you next year after fall. That is gone, and we are going to welcome spring. This says spring. You ready? Let's put it up. Say hello. Oops, I don't have Velcro on it. Say hello, spring. I'll attach that in a minute. Hello, spring. Welcome. Thanks for joining us again for another year. We're really excited for what it has to bring. You guys go look, listen, and smell for signs of spring, and I will see you next time. Bye, everybody.